Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Oriwo. I talk on faith, relationship, and personal development. If you're just joining me for the first time, you're welcome. And if you've been here before, it's good to have you here once again. So the last video I made, I received some comments that has prompted the making of this video. So I would like to address those comments and also talk about one or two things related to the last video that I made. So if you've not seen that video, I'd encourage you to kindly do so that you'll be able to link it up with whatever I am saying right now. Permit me to begin by making this disclaimer. Everything I'll be sharing in this video is not from a business expert point of view, because I'm not a business expert. I'm also learning, but it's from the aspect of personal development, which involves character building in this case. So I am simply speaking based on how your attitude should be, not I'm not giving a model for how to run your business. So I'm just talking about your own character as an individual. Either you are the customer or you are the seller. So I'm speaking from personal development point of view, character building, and from a place of common sense. So I just want to make that disclaimer so that we'll be clear. So I received the comment where the person said some customers can be very annoying. They go from one place to another asking for the price of things and then come back to tell you that this is how this other person is selling. Now let me respond to this from the first statement. Some customers can be very annoying. This is very correct. I mentioned it in my previous video. Indeed, some customers can be really annoying. Some customers can be really annoying. And I said it that you must learn to accommodate people. And another thing is that you must learn to differentiate between those annoying customers and the ones that are not annoying. I've actually been to places where just good morning, ma, and they respond with an attitude that can send you out of this world. So I don't think good morning is enough to annoy you as a seller. But probably because they've been annoyed by the previous customer, they are beginning to transfer aggression to another person. So learn to differentiate between the annoying customers and the customers that are not annoying. If you have 100 people patronizing you, for instance, the 100 of them cannot be annoying. If the 100 of them are annoying, that means there's every tendency that you are the one with the problem. You are the one with the problem. So you must learn to differentiate between the annoying customers and the ones that are not annoying. Somebody is coming to you for the first time and you are acting so rude to the person without even getting to know what the person is, what the person's plight is. So some customers can be annoying, but you can control how you react. Do not place yourself at the mercy of your customers in such a way that once they annoy you, they have spoiled your day, and then you begin to transfer aggression to every other person. So if you have 100 people patronizing you in a day and the first person annoys you, how do you go about explaining to the other 99 people that you are acting so rude to them because of one person that annoyed you? So do not make the behavior of an annoying customer to make you to become rude to every other person that is coming your way. Now to the second part, that some customers go from one place to another asking for the prices of things. Now let me dissect this in various ways. First of all, there is something called market survey. There is something called market survey. And what does that mean? It simply means comparing prices. You go, you ask, how much do they do this? How do they sell this? What quality is this? You want to ask, you want to know. And market survey does not mean that you must buy that product. I think this is an aspect where most people miss. So some sellers will be like, you are asking for price, but you are not buying. No. People are free to ask you how much you're selling your product or rendering your service. It's not a crime. It's not a crime. It's not a crime. So you must learn to be understanding. Understand that it is not everybody who confirms how you're selling your product that will end up buying. Sometimes some people may just want to know. Sometimes they may just want to see if it is something that they can afford. Sometimes they may just want to have an idea of how much it is being sold. So it is not a crime to ask for price. The only thing that now makes it wrong is when you make that your duty So you wake up in the morning, you are going from one vendor to another to ask, how much is this your bag? How much is this your shoe? How much is this your sandals? How much is it? And you know you don't want to buy. That is when it becomes wrong, because it just simply means you are jobless. And that's when it becomes annoying. When today you are asking me how much is bag, next tomorrow how much is this, another day how much is that, and you have never patronized. You have asked for like 20, the price of 20 products, but you have never purchased anyone. You don't even seem like somebody who will purchase. It can become so annoying. So please, as that the individual concerned, learn to respect yourself. If you see something you like, screenshot it and save it. When you have the money, you can now ask. There are some people, they don't even need that item. You don't need a bag, but because you saw it, you want to ask. And even if you need it and you don't have money, I don't think there's, at that moment, you don't have money at that moment, I don't think there's any point in going to ask from one place to another. So make sure that you do it with decorum, with common sense, so that an annoying customer who goes about asking for the price of various items without buying. When you do that, you end up spoiling the opportunity of those people who may want to buy and are trying to ask for prices. So the seller will be like, "Ah, that's how these people just be asking for prices, and they are not going to buy." And the seller begins to react rudely to somebody who wants to buy. So you see that your attitude can actually spoil somebody's business. So ensure that you do not take advantage of markets of it, going to ask without buying. Now to the seller, there's also something called price tag. There's something called price tag. That is, you attach the price to the item that you are selling. You know, I actually have a huge amount of love to those people who post their products or services and add the charges or the amount they are selling such products or rendering such services. Like, it makes things easy for you and the customer. So if you have a bag for sale and the bag is 20,000 naira, for instance, and you put it, those people who have a budget of 20,000, who can afford it, would be the ones to come to you, except otherwise stated though, because I know there may still be some exceptions. And for somebody whose budget is 5,000 naira, is looking for a bag of 5,000 naira, the person sees 20,000, he or she automatically knows that this is not a bag that I can afford. So it saves you a lot of stress if you attach prices to your product. So do not just say, come to my inbox. You are the ones that said, come to my inbox. And when they come, you are angry that they do not buy. So I don't know what exactly is your problem. So somebody asks, how much is this pen, for instance? And you drop a comment, come to my inbox. Another person wants to buy, the person is coming. So you have asked like 10 people to come to your inbox. And when they come, they find out that they can't afford it and you are angry. You shouldn't be angry. So if you want to relieve yourself of some amount of stress, you should consider adding prices to your products or your services, so that once people see it, they know if it is what they can afford or not. On the flip side, I think the reason why most people do that is because they want to sell different prices to different people. So they sell to Mr. A for 10,000 naira. They look at Mr. B and like, it's like this one, we have more money. They sell 15,000. They look at Mr. C, this is a very rich man. They sell for 50,000, or as the case may be. So that may be the reason. I'm not here to say if it is right or wrong, but I just want to let you know that attaching a price to your products or services would relieve you of stress, and will also relieve your customers of stress. So that time that you're using to respond to how much would, you have already eradicated that. The only thing you'll be doing is, how can I get it? When do I make payment? What account should I pay to? And I believe that's what most sellers desire to hear. So back to the buyers. I remember that I said that there's something called market survey, and I have defended you by saying market survey is not a sin, but there's also something called common sense. There's something called common sense. Common sense means that you would use wisdom in doing the things that you do. So somebody cannot post 20 items and you go about asking for the price of all 20 of them, and you end up not buying, and you know that you don't even want to buy. So please learn to use common sense. You must not, it is not compulsory for you to know how much the person is selling. Maybe you want to know how the person is selling, or you want to know the amount the person is making in a day. So please learn to use common sense. And another aspect of common sense is that you should not go to seller A and say, this is how seller B is selling now, why is your own like this? There's a way to do things. Even if you know how much the other person is selling, you can ask, oh, would you not give me a discount? Can you not sell it at this price? If you know the other person is selling cheaper, why did you come? Go to that place. So learn to use wisdom because wisdom is profitable to direct. It is not wrong to carry out market survey, but when you are doing it, do it with wisdom. Do it in such a way that you are not being annoying to the person that is selling. Do it in such a way that the person will not end up cursing you and say, what kind of a person is he? What kind of customer? In fact, I do not pray to be having this kind of customers. So always use wisdom in all that you do, because wisdom is indeed profitable to direct. In summary, we can just learn to tolerate one another, because someone also dropped a comment and says, imagine you bought something for 9 naira and you're planning to sell for 10 naira, and somebody is coming and saying, is it not 8 naira? And you know that if you sell 8 naira, you are running at a loss. It can be really annoying, I understand. But we all must learn to tolerate one another, understand one another, and create room for one another to be happy. Because at the end, I am not the source of your problem, and you are not the source of my problem also. So we should not transfer aggressions to one another. So let's learn to be accommodating, have a good character. It does not matter if the seller is rude or not. It does not matter if the customer is rude or not. You can dismiss people in a better way, without being insultive or without being rude. And you can dismiss somebody without transferring aggression to the next person that is coming. So this is just my random thoughts on the issue that was addressed previously. So if you have anything you would like to chip in, you can actually let me know in the comment section. I'll definitely engage with. So this is where I'll stop for today. I want to believe you've gotten one or two things from what I said. I was just sharing my random thoughts, so you probably would have gotten one or two things. So let me know if you agree with anything I've said or if you disagree. Like I said before, this is not a business expert advice. It is just my own opinion from the place of common sense, personal development, and character building. So let me know if you agree or disagree with me, or if you have any other thing that you would like me to. Thank you for following through to the end. My name is still Sarah Oriwo, and I talk on faith, relationship, and personal development. Till I come your way next time, see you and keep taking care of yourselves. Bye for now.